ready to fire up the old musical time machine.
Always up for a trip through the sonic wormhole.
Buckle up then, because today's deep dive takes us on a wild ride through 3 decades of music, AI, and the kind of bond that even time can't break.
We're talking about a band called My Happy Life, and trust me, their story is anything but typical.
Oh, this isn't your grandma's reunion tour, that's for sure.
Not even close. Think of it more like, what happens when those garage band dreams you had as a kid get a second life 30 years later, thanks to a little thing called artificial intelligence?
See, now you're speaking our language. But let's back up for a sec. For those who haven't had their morning coffee yet, we're talking about My Happy Life. Who are these guys and why should we care?
Well, picture this. It's 1988, Chicago suburbs. 2 high school buddies, Scott and Mike, are holed up in their basement, geeking out over music theory 1 minute and trying to channel Robert Smith from The Cure the next.
Ah, the classic garage band origin story.
Except back then, garage band meant something a little different. We're talking limited equipment, 4-track recorders, the whole 9 yards. Those limitations actually push them to be more resourceful, more inventive with their sound.
Kind of like how those old school video games with the pixelated graphics forced you to use your imagination more. And speaking of their sound, we've been jamming to some of My Happy Life's early stuff, and let me tell you, these guys were all over the map.
Genre bending before it was even a buzzword.
Reach for the Sky has this infectious Motown groove. Then you've got I Fall Down, which takes a hard left into this dreamy, psychedelic soundscape. Talk about range.
Right. It's like they threw everything they loved about music into a blender and hit pulse. What's really cool is you can hear those early influences, those bands they bonded over, woven into their music, a little Cure here, a dash of New Order there, but they still managed to create something that felt fresh and exciting. Which, let's be honest, isn't easy to do when you're basically working with a Casio keyboard in a dream.
But then, like so many bands, life happened.
The music industry is littered with those what-if stories.
Careers, families, all that grown-up stuff took center stage, and the music faded.
Yeah.
Or so we thought.
This is where things get really interesting. Fast forward a few decades.
To the year 2024. Flying cars still aren't a thing, but hey.
We've got AI composing symphony.
True. And in Mike's case, AI became the key to unlocking this whole new chapter for My Happy Life.
He stumbles upon this platform, Udio.com. Think of it as a digital music playground, packed with AI tools that can help anyone, even someone without years of technical training, create professional-sounding tracks.
I played around with some AI music software. It's mind-blowing how far it's come.
It's pretty wild, right? And for Mike, this reignited that creative spark that had been dormant for so long. He's pumping out these amazing demos, experimenting with different sounds, but he's missing one crucial element: lyrics.
Dun dun dun, enter the long-lost bandmate.
Cue the epic reunion montage. Okay, maybe not that dramatic. It was a simple email, but hey, the power of reaching out, right? Mike sends Scott a message, they reconnect, and suddenly, My Happy Life 2.0 is born.
And their sound.
Even more eclectic than before.
Oh yeah. We are talking next-level sonic adventures here. Secrets has this smooth, soulful vibe. Then you've got Rolled Up Inside of the Sun, which sounds like it was beamed straight out of a 60s psychedelic jam session. And then Down the Rail. Pure indie rock gold.
They even revisit some of their old material, but with a modern twist.
Speaking of old material, why don't we cue up one of their tracks from back in the day? This is another Wired feeling, vintage 1988. See if it holds up.
Another Wired feeling, 1988. You can really hear how much emphasis they put on creating atmosphere. It wasn't just about the notes, it was about building these vast sonic landscapes. And keep in mind, they were doing all of this with what we would consider pretty primitive technology by today's standards. It's a testament to their creativity.
Absolutely. It makes you wonder, what kind of music would they have created back then if they had access to the tools we have now? All right, ready for another sonic leap? This time, we're jumping back to the present with Down the Tide, one of their latest tracks.
Down the Tide 2024.
Could be any
Okay, who else got chills? Seriously, they managed to capture that 80s energy but gave it a fresh, modern spin. How did they do that?
It's like they distilled the essence of their early sound, that raw energy, and then layered it with these more sophisticated arrangements and production techniques. It's familiar yet completely new. And that's the beauty of their story. They aren't just recreating the past, they're building on it, using technology to enhance their creative vision. It's inspiring, really.
Totally. Makes you think, what's that thing you've always wanted to do but thought, nah, it's too late for that now? What if it's not? What if, with the right tools, the right mindset, you could tap into those passions, those dreams, and give them a second life? I don't know about you, but listening to my happy life story definitely has me thinking.
It's a good reminder that creativity doesn't have an expiration date. It might take a detour, maybe even a decades-long nap, but it's always there, waiting for the right moment to reemerge.
And who knows, maybe AI will be the thing that helps us all rediscover those hidden passions. All right, folks, that's a wrap on this musical journey. Huge thanks to My Happy Life for reminding us that it's never too late to chase those dreams, no matter how much time has passed.
And never underestimate the power of a good email.
Truth. If you want to hear more from My Happy Life, head over to Spotify or YouTube and get lost in their sonic universe. Trust me, you won't regret it. Until next time, keep those creative fires burning.